Hi guys, welcome to another episode on Stocks in Focus. For this week video, we're going to talk about whether we're going to see a potential market crash. Is this drop that we have experienced since Monday, is it a correction, or are we going to see a huge major drop in the stock market? And I'm going to share with you, right, why what are some of the things that I look out for, okay, and why you should be definitely considering that kind of analysis as well to help you in your trading and investing. And of course, we're going to talk about and I'm going to share with you my analysis, my view on Bitcoin and Tesla as well, because again, that is one of the hottest topic right now. And I'm not sure if you're aware, I did see some news even talk about how within less than 24 hours, billions of dollars have been wiped out from the crypto market itself. Okay, so if you stay to the very end of this particular video, you actually discover what are some of the tools, indicators, the method that I use to analyze the entire broader market perspective. And of course, you find out whether you should be buying Bitcoin and Tesla. So without further ado, I'll show you my screen, what I'm seeing. Okay, and we'll start on with the global macro perspective. Now over here, of course, this is from Finviz. Okay, so you can see globally what's happening on all different sector. You do see like the US market is in the red. Okay, the financial sectors are in the green. But other than that, commodities are in the green. But other than that, almost everything is red or flat. Okay, even the emerging markets here, you can see is red. China is red. Okay, and of course, the US market is in red. Okay, so that's why the question is, are we seeing just a correction, or is this gonna be another market crash that perhaps, on the scale like what we've witnessed in March 2020? Okay, so over here you can see this is the S&P 500. Okay, so for the past few days, okay, it has started to correct since it hits a high at around 3966. Okay, and the question right now is this gonna keep falling, or are we gonna just see it as a correction and from here it's gonna make another new high? Okay, so in order for us to understand that, of course, one point of view is to look at the technical chart. The other way is what I do also is to look at what we call the commitment of traders report, COT report. Okay, and from there I'll be able to understand like what is the open interest. Are there more speculators coming into the market? Are they buying? Are they selling? Okay, so from here you can see this is the latest data that I'm able to obtain. That is on the 16th of February. Okay, COT report is released on a week-to-week basis. And based on the latest data, what we can see is that the open interest generally has been increasing since the start of 2021, which is this year. Okay, but overall in the net position, which is the summation of long and short position, we can see that it's actually falling. Okay, from the start of the year, that was about negative 34,000, and as of the latest data here, you can see it's close to negative 80. In other words, okay, while the interest of S&P has been coming in, okay, majority of the interest is actually on the short side. Okay, and I'm not surprised because again, S&P is already at a new high, and the market is always bound for a potential correction, right? It's never gonna be one way up. It's gonna be going up and then a healthy correction, and of course it continues going high. Okay, so what we see from a large speculator's point of view over here is that generally they are more interested in the sell side. Okay, now if I look over at the Nasdaq, okay, that's a slightly different perspective. Okay, same thing over here. You can see open interest has been generally increasing a little bit for Nasdaq, and it's still in a positive territory for the net position. But you do see that since the end of January, at the high of net about 40,000, right now we are almost halfway there, right? 20,000. Okay, and if you take a look at the COT index, is at the extreme high. Okay, and most of the time when we see that, it tells us that likely we're gonna see kind of like a reversal or even a short-term correction. Okay, so from this point of view, right, from this perspective, from the COT perspective, it's telling me that the big boys, the large speculators here, are positioning themselves on selling. Okay, and therefore, if I go over to the chart, that's where we are seeing the selling pressure coming in as well. Okay, now from the S&P technical analysis point of view, Okay, one of the key zone, of course, over here you can see based on the 50% Fibonacci of this low to this high is somewhere around 3813 to the Fibonacci level of 61.8 is around 3778. Okay, and I think that looking at the momentum of how price is likely falling, I'm not going to be surprised if price continue falling towards this zone. Okay, of course, it might or might not fall by, 1 day or 2 days, depending on when you watch this video. Okay, but this can easily do a correction, maybe for a day or two, and then it keeps dropping towards this key zone. Okay, now that's where you want to pay very close attention towards the 3778 to 3813 level, because if price were to break off this level impulsively, there's a very, very high possibility it will come back and retest the previous low of 3664. Okay, now if I put that scale and kind of measure from the high to the bottom, that's a drop of close to 7.5%. Okay, now that's not a market crash. Okay, technically a 20% drop is a market crash, but 7.5 is more or less like, I would say, a healthy correction. Okay, because if we go back to the higher scale like daily, okay, that is definitely, the market is definitely bound for a potential correction right now. Okay, and you can see this was happening in August, okay, the last quarter of 2020. I think if this were to happen somewhere around here like that, again, it's a healthy correction. The market needs to do a reset before another push to the upside. Okay, now if you ask me from a global macro perspective, I think the stock market, the equities market, is generally supported to the upside simply because of what the Fed is doing. Okay, it has been printing money, and of course, the Fed has released statements stating that it will not stop printing, and it will not increase interest rate until it starts to see overall average inflation actually is able to hit 2%. Okay, but of course, in the recent time, there's some speculation that the Fed might start increasing rates sooner than anticipated, right? And that might be one of the catalysts to see the stock prices coming down a little bit. Okay, but until the Fed release an actual statement and say that, okay, we are starting to see inflation, which we are not yet doing it right now, okay, I think overall the stock market is going to be supported. In other words, okay, of course, if you're an investor, then this will be a good time for you to focus on the, getting in on some of the stocks that you want, because it becomes a discount. If you're trading, then of course there are always opportunities in up and down. You just need to capitalize on them. Okay, another indicator that I'm tracking over here, okay, is this one here, where we look at the percentage of stocks in the S&P that is trading above the 200-day moving average. Okay, so you are looking at this in the understanding based on the principle that when we are in an extreme zone, whether is it too low or too high, likely it's gonna reverse. Okay, and of course, the understanding here is that price will never go up all the time. Okay, it's gonna go up and then come down, reset, and then go up again. Okay, so if you take a look at this over here on the what you're seeing here, okay, as of today, you can see this level is around 88.85%. What it means is that based on the basket of stocks in the S&P 500, about 88% of the stocks are above the 200-day moving average. Okay, and that is actually at the extreme, because if you take a look at historical, okay, seldom it breaks beyond 80. Okay, so you can see over here, if I put a horizontal line at 80, okay, the last time it broke it was like in 2010. Okay, other than that, it didn't really break it. The closest it came was about 75 to 80%, and then it reversed. Okay, so right now, definitely we are like way overbought, I would say, in the extreme zone, and this indicator kind of tell you to be cautious, okay, because there's a potential correction, there might be a reset, so take note of that. And of course, if you take a look at what happened March last year, that's where it is. Okay, it dropped towards like close to 5%, which means it's like a mega sale, right? It's like global discount. Okay, so you can use this indicator to help you as well. If you're using on TradingView, the ticker symbol is MMTH. Okay, you can use it as a reference, as a guide, right? So I do this. I look at this one as one of my macro indicator to let me know if I would like to be cautious, I like to be aggressively buying and investing into the market, or would I like to take some profits be at the sideline, right? So for example, right now, I would say it's time to be cautious. Okay, if this comes down towards like 15%, oh, that's your shopping spree, right? So hopefully you'll be able to include this and help you in your whole trading process as well. Okay, so in short, before we go to talk about Bitcoin and Tesla, in short, I think the market is bound for a healthy correction. I don't think we're gonna see a major crash unless the Fed decides to, flip entirely and say they are gonna start increasing rates sooner than later. So until that happens, I think generally the stock market is likely gonna be supported. Okay, so with that, let's dive into Tesla and Bitcoin. Okay, because again, this is definitely hitting headlines. Okay, where Bitcoin actually, first time it hits the headline, the news stating that it broke off 58,000. Okay, the next headline that I saw is many people actually lose money. Margin call, right? So one thing you want to always be aware of is that if today you're very new to trading, please don't jump into something so volatile. Don't over leverage your position, okay? Because something like this, like Bitcoin or even Tesla, which is a very volatile asset, is able to wipe out your account in just less than 24 hours, okay? Which is what happened, okay? And I hope none of you who are watching this video is falling prey to that. Okay, so if you ask me on Bitcoin here, again, I always share with traders that whatever goes up strong and fast, when it comes down, it can come down hard. Okay, and if you take a look at Bitcoin, it's crazy, right? How this has rallied. Okay, it's parabolic, it's almost on a straight line up. Definitely when the correction comes, when it comes down, it can be fast and hard as well. Okay, and if I were to measure this from the high of close to like 58,000, that was a 22% drop. Okay, and if today you add in a bit of leverage, definitely your account is gonna wipe out. Okay, so the question now is, what's next? Are we in a good area that we can start to accumulate Bitcoin or not? Okay, now if I just show you the Bitcoin futures COT as well, right? A quick one over here, you can see it's still in a negative territory, okay, which means overall there are still more traders selling Bitcoin and buying in the futures market. Okay, of course I know like corporations, some of it are entering into it, like Tesla, like Elon Musk, right? But this is the futures market. Okay, so to me, I'm still not really convicted to jump onto it until I see that the futures market in terms of COT has also transit into a positive territory. Okay, so some of you might say that, hey, Kar Yong, aren't you missing out on all this? To me, that's perfectly fine, right? I'm someone who is a little bit more conservative in my risk management approach, which means that I'm not really comfortable in being involved in something as volatile as this, where in, one day or even in a week, you can see the asset price drops like 20-30%. Okay, that's crazy. If I invest into it, my portfolio is going to be so volatile. The question you want to ask is, would you be able to sleep soundly at night? If not, then why are you, putting in money that causes you to lose your peace at night, right? Don't do that. Okay, there's so many other opportunities that can still make money from the financial market. Okay, of course, again, you need to assess whether your risk profile fits into such kind of volatility. Now, from a technical point of view, okay, the key zone that you really want to keep an eye on, which I think it will likely hit that level, is around 44,000. Okay, to be more specific, it's about 43,965. Okay, but of course, with such a volatile pair, that's almost equivalent to like 44,000, right? Plus minus 100 plus. So I think price would likely gonna test this low. The question is, how is price gonna react from there? If we're gonna see a strong V-shaped bounce, okay, from the 44,000 level, then obviously there is that potential that this drop is complete and we can start to see Bitcoin continue for rising. Okay, but let's say if price were to break through that 44,000 very strong and it starts to form a consolidation at the bottom of the 44,000 mark, then the next key zone that you want to keep an eye on is around 29,000. Okay, and when that happens from the high to the bottom, that's a 50% loss in valuation. Okay, that's huge. So again, whether is it fit to trade Bitcoin or not really comes back down to your risk management, to your risk appetite. Okay, so this is my view on Bitcoin. I always share with my traders, if you want to trade this, trade it small. Don't really go and leverage, okay, because it can easily wipe out all your effort, all your profits, all your capital in a very, very short period of time. Okay, but another one here is Tesla is also falling hard, as I share with you in the, I think, the past 1 or 2 videos before, talking about, to me, I don't think it's a very smart move for Tesla as a corporation to buy Bitcoin, because that brings your correlation of Bitcoin and Tesla together, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Okay, as Bitcoin drops, Tesla price is gonna drop as well. Okay, and I'm not sure if Elon Musk wanted this, because some actually give him credit that he tweeted saying that Bitcoin is too high, and therefore that's where the market starts to drop yesterday, right? Okay, I'm not really sure if that's really caused by Elon Musk or not, but in any case, okay, that's where you can see Tesla is also falling, and the pre-market, as I'm recording this, is below 700. Okay, and if you take a look at Tesla, right, of course, it's at all-time high. Okay, and it's almost similar to what the price of Bitcoin is doing, right? It's parabolic to the upside. Okay, and again, everything that rally hard, as it comes down, it can come down hard. Okay, so again, if you take a look at this, let me just measure that proportion for you. That's about 20% drop, right? Almost similar to Bitcoin, right? Super closely correlated as of now. Okay, so the question then is it time to buy Tesla? Okay, again, if you put on a traditional valuation metrics to kind of understand Tesla, it's definitely overbought. Okay, and of course you have like hedges, or even Michael Burry. Okay, I'm not sure if you know him. Okay, he's actually famous for the Big Short, right? If you haven't watched that video, go do that. So he is heavily stating that he's shorting Tesla. Okay, and of course he's saying that Tesla is overvalued, right? So whether he's right or not, okay, that's another thing. But I want you to see that there are renowned traders out there thinking that Tesla is overvalued. Okay, and of course there are also, like, on the other extreme, Katie Wood, who strongly believes in Tesla, and she says that as price is coming down, it's like you're getting in at a discount, right? Whoever is right, okay, maybe both are right, both can make money along the way, okay, but I want you to also have your own perspective, okay, when you're trading this. You can't just follow blindly, like Michael Burry, or you can't follow blindly on Katie Wood, okay, you need to have your own principle. So if you ask me today, I'm definitely not going to be investing into Tesla, because based on it, this company fundamental is not strong, right? It has just recently made profit from its operation, okay, from selling cars, but of course recently it has also made a lot of money from buying Bitcoin, right? But the company fundamentals are not that strong, okay? Maybe the future growth is there, okay, but currently it's not strong, okay? It's still an early stage. And of course you can't apply that matrix to kind of like value Tesla, right? That doesn't work. It's definitely going to be overvalued. So I'm not going to be investing in Tesla, which means I'm not going to hold on to it for long term if I'm getting involved. But I think Tesla can be traded. Okay, because if a stock is very volatile, of course that's where traders triumph, right? Because the price move, that's where traders can make money from it, whether is it going up or coming down. Okay, but for me, I wouldn't be touching something like this because it's just too volatile. Okay, in a couple of days it drops 20%. I don't want my portfolio to fluctuate that way as well. Okay, so again, you need to assess that. Okay, and I shared with you before, right, in the previous video, if you are trading Tesla at the same time you're also trading Bitcoin, just be very aware of that correlation, because if one drop, the other drop, then your entire portfolio can drop a lot. Okay, so be aware of that. Now, if I were to put in the technical analysis of Tesla, I think with today's gap down at the pre-market, it's definitely a very impulse push. Okay, and if I were to put in kind of like an annual wave analysis, okay, and this is where the recent high is. Okay, with the recent gap down towards this level here at pre-market, then this is likely going to develop as a 4, 5, right? So wave 4 as an Elliott wave count, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that would likely be your A wave correction, okay, with a bigger wave B, and you expect another move to the downside as well. Okay, so that's how I'm seeing it, which means that we are potentially seeing Tesla going into a consolidation phase, where there is a high possibility that the immediate high right now is $900, and you might not see price breaking above 900 in maybe the short-term period. Okay, and when I mean short term here, maybe it's about a couple of months, right? 1 to 2 months period. Okay, if I were to put in some Fibonacci expectation to look at this, okay, from where this recent low is to that high, okay, I think it's fairly easy for Bitcoin, for Tesla to come back and hit the level around 613 and even 545. Okay, easily. So I think this is 123, maybe like this, and then from there it's gonna hit the 545, and from there it can rally. Okay, so in short, I think right now, okay, you shouldn't be buying it because the momentum is definitely to the downside. Again, unless you see a potential V-shaped reversal, do not get into a buy trade on Tesla. I think if you're looking for sell, you want to be cautious as well, because I always say you don't sell at the impulse. Okay, when price just move off very strong, stay out of the market, be patient, don't jump into it. Right, so that's my view on Bitcoin and Tesla. I think right now a lot of people are interested in it. I hope this video here is able to give you some insights. Okay, ideally is to protect you so that you don't jump onto it blindly, giving you a different angle and insights, so that you can think twice, okay, before making the decision if you want to trade it or not. Alright, so I hope this video here it's helpful and you enjoy it. Okay, let me know in the comments below if you're specifically also looking at Bitcoin and Tesla, whether you're buying or selling. Okay, share with me if you have your own view as well, what you think about Bitcoin and Tesla, and of course the entire stock market here. What do you think about it, right? And if you have any questions, I always say that feel free to put it in the comments below. I'll look through them, all the comments in all my video. Okay, and of course if there are questions, I'll always answer them as well. And if you enjoy this video, okay, share with me one key takeaway as well, okay, in the comments. And of course do click on the like button. It will help this video a lot by you know, the YouTube algorithm, and I will be able to share it out with more people, reach out to more people. Hopefully we'll be able to help them in their trading and investing journey as well. Okay, make sure you also subscribe to the channel so that whenever I release a video like this, you'll be notified. Okay, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next episode.